Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with the flip through of our Grungy Library Lapbook Journal. She is all done, all grungy and mixed media ties. So this is what I did for the cover. This is the rusty patina piece that or one of the samples I did for my collaboration for the Out with a Bang collaboration. And so I just used the base. I didn't make it a pocket, but I just used it as part of the base for the cover. Put some metal corners on that bit. This is just corrugated cardboard, just to kind of build that out and give it a little bit of dimension. So I like that look. And then I did make some clay pieces. I actually made these recently. Sometimes I just use an old stash that I have, but I use this butterfly, a little piece of postage, and then these squares. Now I wish that I had turned them so they were just square, but by the time I realized I didn't like it, it was too late to move them. So there we go. So that is our spine. It is a, let me see. I don't recall. Yeah, it is a 3-inch spine. And it is lapbook style, so you can see it's got two sections. Okay, lots of fun seam binding up there at the top, and then the bottom is fairly minimal because I don't like to put a bunch of stuff in the bottom because then you can't stand it up on end as easily. These are long enough that they will hang out the side like that. So let's go ahead and crack her open. I know I've been doing this. I did this with both Grungy library journals. I also did it with I just finished the Romance in Paris journal that we worked on last year. And I did rosettes on the spine as well because I just love the look. I think it's just a great way to make your spine look cool. So that's just my preference. So let's just open her up here. So lapbook opens up like so. Okay, I'm hoping that I have this open up big enough for you. So you've got these two flaps here. I decided not to put anything on here because I really like the fabric and I didn't want to take away from the fabric. This is Eclectic from Tim Holtz. I got it on Etsy. If you're interested, I can link the shop I got it from. Now, the weird thing about this is the fabric is that no matter which way you put the fabric on, something's going to be upside down. At first I thought I did something wrong, that this was upside down, but that was not the case. So we've got an internal flap, which has a large pocket. I need to put some seam binding on those. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Got a large pocket there, okay? And then we've got a side pocket with a large journal card here. Okay, like so. And the same with the back. We've got the same, it's just like double trouble here. So we've got a large card. I guess I do need to put a thing on there because this one has one. Glad I saw that. Another pocket and a large journal card. Okay, and then on the back inside cover, we have a writing pad. So there's one here, and then there's one here. So really, really great. I love how it turned out. This journal has been purchased and is going out in the mail as of, this is Tuesday, the 5th of August, and it's going out tomorrow to the buyer. So I'm so glad, and I hope that she loves it as much as I do. So we've got 2 signatures in here because that's all it will take, okay? And so we've got 2, and the way in case you didn't notice, the way they work is this closes up on it, and it just tucks inside of there as I showed you from that top view. Keeps it kind of contained. One could put like a closure on that too because this is kind of, it's a very different construction for a journal. But I love how, because of the way that I bind them, they lay this way. Now this one did not have a hidden spine. I usually do a hidden spine. This one actually does have the strings. You just can't see them because of the rosettes, but that's okay. So let's just flip through. I'm not going to open up everything because there's a lot, but this was a little card maker fold that we did that's just a writing space that opens like that. Okay, and was this one glued down? I think this is glued down. Some of these in some of my other journals, I'm having them be Velcroed in so that they're easier to write in, because that's tricky. We've got a, I believe this was from Clemens Crafts. That's Vanessa over there. I think this is from one of her kits, if I remember correctly. And it is printed on a heavyweight vellum. This is a page from the kit with a decorative edge. This is a masked paper clip. I love to do those, and I love sentiments, so my heart has a library card. I love that. And then this just opens up like this. This was an envelope project. It's got a Velcro closure, but it opens up into a whole writing space. It's a great low profile way to add journaling space to your journals, and then you can just clip it in. Hopefully my fingers will work. A little bit of stamping there. And then when you clip things in, you still have this space underneath to write on when this is removed. So another kit page. This was the, we made these. These are those embossed dangles, and we had 3 of them. So they all 3 went in this journal. So they're very, very fun. We've got some chain and some little charms on there. So that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to move this a little bit closer so that you guys can see. Oh, don't mind my body. Holy moly. Hopefully that's better. This is a tag flip. So this flips up, and then we've got some journal cards in here. And then we've got all these flip open, and you've got little writing spaces like so. I watched this over on Jennifer on the patio. She did a freebie, and I picked that up, and then I just used different digitals to make one that fit this journal. So there we go. So we've got that beautiful bronzy charm bit there. And then this is a piece of just coffee dyed paper that I stenciled on. This is our magnetic page edger. But the cool thing is it has journal cards in here, if I remember correctly. Yes, so got a journal card in there, and then we've got a journal card in here. My heart, there's another one. My heart has a library card. Between the pages, I find my peace. So really, really cool. These are so super versatile because this can be moved anywhere in the journal that the buyer wants it to go. It can act as a marker, as a bookmark, which is kind of cool. And then this one was the one I had to repair, and that was the best that I could do to repair that because I cut this. It wasn't strong here at the base when I cut that heart out, and that was a big mistake, but it is now workable. Okay. I don't remember where I got all of these digitals, but because some of them I just randomly pull from my stash. So we've got this is a belly band. This is the Myra fold that we did. So it opens up like that. We've got little cards in here. We've got little cards in here, and then the full back of it is writing space. Okay, other than this part. So that's a really neat-o kind of thing. And I like to make these belly bands like this because then you could still write on all this other space, and then you just slide that back in there and it will stay closed and be held in place. Okay, some writing space. This was just a large tag-shaped pocket, so it's just a regular pocket, just a very deep pocket, so it's got a very large tag in there. Another masked paper clip. And then some of these were things from my Page Ideas series, so they are already constructed and then they're just sewn into the journal. Let's see if this is a belly band with an envelope. So we've got journal cards here that pull out. Right here, there's 2, but this whole thing can slide out. Okay, boom. It can slide out like that. Okay, and it's just a nice little feature. It doesn't have a huge level of functionality, but it's just different. And so it just slides back in there, and then it just stays in place. Now you could also put a piece of Velcro there and hold that down, but it is okay. The other half of that vellum page, I always put at least two vellum pages in every signature. And then the other half of that coffee dyed paper. And then this is what was this? We've got a mask paper clip. And then this one is another card idea, card maker idea that I incorporated and made into Junk Journal Ephemera. So this opens up like that, and then you've got all this writing space. Just so super easy. So you guys can check out any of these things that you see I made on camera, and you can reference them, the videos in the playlist for the Grungy Library Journal. Even if the grungy isn't your cup of tea, you could make it out of anything you want, any kind of paper. So it's just an idea. Okay, writing space. We've got another masked paper clip. And then let's see what this is the masked paper clip that is the envelope. I remember now. Let me take that off. Okay, so it's attached. And then we've got a little bit of, you have to take that paper clip off. But this opens up as well. And then this is another bit. I have to refresh my memory. So this is just, what was that? Nope. This just sits in here like that. Just a little bit of something. And then we'll slide that paper clip back on. Some of this stuff, it feels like it's been forever since I made it. So I have to refresh my recollection of how they work. But I love the masked paper clips. Those are very fun. Another, this is the tea stain paper that I often use, and I just did a little bit of stenciling that kind of brought in the blues in the design. And then this is, what is this? It opens. So there we go. Let's take that paper clip off. I wonder why that's on there. I'm not sure. So you've got this, and you've got these journal cards that are behind it. So it's an envelope. This was from I think it was 7 ways to use an envelope in your journal. So this was one of the ideas, which was basically to make it a belly band tuck spot. So we've got these large journal cards with those beautiful, beautiful images. And it just slides behind there. And then if you open this up, you also have a pocket here. And you can see that envelope there, and there is a card in there. But you can't, it's kind of hard to see because it can't stick out. So there's 3 journal cards in there as well. So there we go. And then I don't know why that had a paper clip there. It must have been for some other reason. Another image from one of the kits. The other half of the vellum page. Oh, that's a different vellum page. No, that's the other half of the vellum page. This is also another writing space that is a belly band that comes off. This stays on the page. And then this is what was this? I don't remember. Oh, this was our accordion thing. Remember this, you guys? So let's see if I can remember how it works. Look at that. Yeah. So cool. So cool. I watched this on a card maker channel as well. I did give credit to her in the video where I showed you guys how to make this, so you can check that out as well. Super fun. Forgot about that completely. Okay, and then that's the end of the first signature. Another kit page. And then this is another one of those tag flip ones that's got, this flips up. It's got journal cards stuck in the belly band, and then it's got the flip little, from small to big of writing space that are tag shaped. And then just a decorative edge on this is one of my own coffee dyed paper originals. More stamping, another page on vellum. And then this one is the one where you've got these little pockets here, but it is an over the page piece of ephemera. So let me take that paper clip off. Okay. And then basically this whole thing can come off, and you have all of this writing space again, but you've got that added 2 pockets, and then that's it, just the 2 pockets with the small journal cards. So this is a really great over the page ephemera. Is really versatile again because it can come off, and whatever page it's clipped on can also be written on that way. So it's not consuming or being glued down to an entire page that you could be written on. Okay. Another kit page with a decorative punch. This is another one of those tag-shaped pockets, just a large tag-shaped pocket. I leave crumbs of myself in margins. I love that. Love it. And I just did some stamping on the back of that one just to make it, I don't know why I did that. because that could have been written on, but it's okay. We've got a couple journal cards here, another kit page, and then this is another one of those ones that you open up and the full thing is writing space. Okay, and it's just got this little tuck triangle here that keeps it all nice and closed. Okay, and this is another one of the dangles. Look at that. Is that so grungy and beautiful? Because it's embossed, and then you come over it with wax or paint or something, and it picks up all that, or ink, and it picks up all that texture. It's really beautiful. So these were very fun to make. Very popular video. And then these are tricky though, because you got to kind of keep them inside of there. Another kit page with a decorative edge. Another kit page, just a little bit of a cluster here. I underlined myself in every story. I love that as well. And this is one of my favorite things I've done ever. Okay, so it is a multi-layered writing space. So each page gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 writing spaces. So that's 10 in just this little space. So it's amazing, and it's at the center of the signature, so it's going to be easy to write on. And then it's got a pocket on the back side, and we've got a couple of journal cards in there as well. Look at that image. Oh, I love them. I love both of them. I really enjoyed working with these papers. Okay. And then another piece of coffee, or this is the tea stain paper, and I just did some stenciling with some blue ink there. And then this one is just a pocket. Oh, this is a triple pocket. So, oh no, it's coming undone. Oh, it's supposed to. Is it supposed to? I think that's supposed to be glued. Let me look at the other side. These were a little bit weird. No, this one stays open. So this one actually probably needs a paper clip. So I'm not doing any more work on this journal, so the buyer can fix that if she'd like. She can glue that shut by just putting a bead of glue down the bottom. But the idea was this was a flip out space as well. So it's just kind of a little bit more interactive than it would be if it was just glued down. And then the other side is glued down and just stuffed full of beautiful pieces of ephemera. Another piece of tea stain paper, another part of the vellum page. This was our collared pockets. These were so fun. And again, I love that you can get this kind of an interesting effect while keeping everything really low profile. So this has got 2 very tall cards in it. So that's a really great writing space. Did a little bit of a cluster here. Words are my quiet escape. And then another, the other side of that digital, and then another collared pocket. I'm not sure why I put those back to back. I must have forgot to put it somewhere else. Another little cluster with, I love these fussy cuts that came. They actually were a PNG file, so I had to resize every one of them, but it was worth it because then I could choose the size I wanted them to be. So that's kind of cool. And then the other half of that other page, which this could theoretically be written on. It's a little bit challenging, but I like to add those kinds of papers in. And then the other piece of that vellum. And then this is our third cluster. Not cluster, dangle. So it only has one little dealio on it, apparently. It's got a little feather on the top. And then this one was what? Let's take it off and take a look. I don't remember. So, oh, this was cool. So this is a... Oh, let's see. So it opens up. This was a full page idea. It's got 2 journal cards in that pocket, and then it also opens up over here. It's magnetic. So I think the idea was, oh, there we go. Now I remember. I love it when that happens. So we've got this writing space, and then if you turn her over, you've got those same 2 panels on the back side. So again, just a really great way to get some writing space. It had to be clipped to the page though in order to be able to be usable, because you want to be able to remove it so that you can write on it. So I'm just going to put this paper clip back up at the top there, and I think that we're at the end, and that's the last piece of that tea stain paper with a little bit of stenciling. And then our beautiful lady. This was from I think it was like a portrait, something portraits, forgotten portraits or something, but I just love the tones and I thought it worked perfectly with the kits that I was using and brings in a little bit of a different element to the project. And then again, our writing space, little notebook. So that is our Grungy Library Lapbook Journal, which is spoken for. I will be doing the flip through for the other journal, which is a standard journal. It's 2 signatures, so that will also be available for sale once I get the flip through up and I can show you what it looks like. So that is it, my friends. Oh, look it, we've got this wax on here. Oh no, I need to touch that up. Probably what I'm going to need to do, I'm glad I saw that, I need to touch that up and then I need to seal it with some matte medium. I completely forgot to do that, not thinking that that would rub off. So that's what you see on my table, is just a little bit of that wax. So I will fix that. That messages to the buyer. That will be resolved before I put it in the mail. So, and it looks like our paint came off of one of the little things too. Interesting. So I will fix it, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you enjoyed the series. The project was a great deal of fun. Really, really enjoyed myself, and I love doing lap books. I think they're very, very cool. I would love to play around with a little bit of a different way of doing them so that I can get just more interesting things in it. So we're always learning and growing and finding new ways to do things. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.